Psychically, I'm very well endowed.
Hello, everybody. Good morning, good evening, wherever you are. Welcome back to the channel, or welcome to the channel. So, yeah, let's get her started here. We're going to be talking about Sid and Marty Krofft and their contribution to kids' Saturday morning TV back from the early 70s all the way to the mid 80s. So we're going to start it off here with my guests. I have 3 individuals so far, with more possibly on the way. And it appears that the Time Prophet's not here yet. So, you're late, Time Prophet. Anyway, so let's get this going here. Let's bring on my first individual here. And we're going to bring, oh man, where's the buttons at? Oh, where's the buttons at? My old age. We're going to bring on our first guest, T-Bunny. Oh, holy hell. Yeah, we've got Mr. Bunny in the house. It's reloading quietly. There we go. Holy hell. No, he's not Dr. Shrinker. Dude. I've had low-grade coffee this morning, T-Bunny. Oh, welcome, T-Bunny. Next on the list is Cruel Beer Ab, straight from Scotland.
Hello. How's everyone doing?
And we have Abby Someone from somewhere deep in a laboratory. Bunny, how's it going? Can you tell us about this? What's going on here?
Well, evidently, I didn't keep the mic in front of my face enough for Time Prophet, so he managed to screen cap me. Unfortunately,
there you go. He did that for sure. He got you hardcore on that one.
Yeah, well, it brought up the fact that I'm a spitting image of Ralphie, like I didn't hear that growing up, you know. So it is what it is. Oh, we lost Abby.
He's gone.
Oh no! Oh no! What happened? It wasn't me. I didn't hit the button. He must not have paid his internet bill. I don't know what the hell.
Oh, yeah.
He just checked out. Damn, he noped out.
Wow.
Oh my God.
Already.
I know, right? He already went bye-bye. What the hell? So, yeah, actually, my technical difficulties, or short eyeballs, one of the two, hit the wrong button, and we ended up starting out with the Dr. Shrinker, which actually was changed. You know, they changed that character's names. They kept the same 2 actors, same premise, but they changed their names. Dr. Shrinker, Dr. Shrinker and Hugo was originally part of the Dr. Shrinker TV series. Later on, oh look, who's back? He's back.
Technical difficulty.
Ah!
Technical
He
difficulties.
returns.
It was Abby someone. Abby Normal.
Abby someone. Abby
right.
normal.
Right.
Yeah.
What
So
hump?
what?
Well, the funny
So,
thing, Billy Barty was actually had his own show for one point called Mr. Wizard, where
I
he
believe
was like
so. Yeah.
he was a special effects
believe.
wizard, but he's like a That was I remember watching that show in the 80s. So
So, oh, hang on.
hang on.
Yeah, that's actually Billy Barty played a couple different roles in Sid and Marty Krofft's world. He actually was Sigmund the Sea Monster from 1973 to 1975. He actually played in the suit. He was the guy in the suit that played Sigmund, and then he got on board later on with in 76 he became Hugo for Dr. Shrinker, his companion, and that lasted for 1 year. So let me see here. What's this one here? Let's play this one here real quick. This intro, if I don't get copyright struck. Wait a minute. Why is it not playing?
All right.
Oh no, hang on.
It's
What's
just
going
buffering.
on? Okay. Well, then it's not going to play. It's trying to add it. Damn internet.
No, let's give it.
Earthquake,
Oh jeez.
never know.
What? Here we go
Land
from
of the Lost.
Land of the Lost.
On the rapids, it struck their tiny raft.
They struck the Wi-Fi. They struck the Wi-Fi.
Down a 1,000 feet below to the land of the lost. The land of the lost. To the land of the
Uh-oh. Somebody noped out again.
He's away again.
What's up,
show.
Andy? Shit show, that's right. Exactly. So, so that was the intro to Land of the Lost, which was probably the most popular and iconic of the Kroft superstars. That ran from 1974 to 1976, 77. And then 3 seasons. There was 43 episodes of that in total. And anybody who watched it knows that the dad got switched out for his brother, apparently, whatever, after season 2. But arguably one of the most popular and widely recognized because you have the Slee Stacks and etc. And you have Chaka, who they called Stink, and so that was most iconic one.
Fun
Go ahead,
story. My best friend Drunk Craig used to buy his his dog's a stuffed animal, and they'd call him Stinks. He had one called, his dog named Lily, and she had also have a stuffed animal. She was like carrying, and they call him Stinks because of the Land of the Lost.
Yep.
So
Right. Yeah.
I might have seen it. I'm not sure. I don't remember. I've certainly heard the name. I've certainly heard of it. But
if you ever
I
seen a
don't
Slee
recall.
Stack on a Saturday morning, you'd remember. So
Oh yeah,
Trust
you'd
me.
remember it. Welcome to the chat and the stream to Low Spec Linux Laptop. Welcome,
hello.
and welcome T Bunny. You're like stereo. You're hurting in 2 places at once, on the stream and in the chat. And then we have Papa Cotton in the chat as well. Thank you for
Hello
being here
there.
today, Papa Cotton. Welcome. So Sid and Marty Krofft.
Mhm.
I don't know if you guys, I don't know if the Gen Xers remember or not. There was another show on called the Banana Splits. Now the Banana Splits were Hanna-Barbera, and
All right.
ironically enough, in the 1960s, Sid and Marty Krofft worked for Hanna-Barbera, and the Banana Splits characters were his creation. And that ran from 68 to 19, from 1968 to 1970. And then because it started out so popular, the Kroft brothers branched off, did their own thing in 69 and came up with H.R. Puffenstuff, who was arguably the second most widely popular show, and only ran for one season. And it spawned a lot of knockoffs, and one major knockoff was good old Mickey D's, McDonald's. So McDonald's, yep. McDonald's had a thing that they started, and they started in conjunction with a marketing firm, advertising agency. And I forget the name off the top of my head, but this advertising agency approached the Kroft brothers after the success of H.R. Puffenstuff, wanted them to do a project for McDonald's, to create some things for McDonald's and their McDonaldland universe. And so the Kroft brothers only got
the
so far as
Hamburglar and all those guys that came from the Crofts.
Well,
Grimace and all of them.
specifically Grimace, specifically Mayor McCheese, and I'll tell you what sparked a lawsuit that lasted for a long time. It litigated for a long time, really. It started in the early 70s, I think 71, 72, because Kroft brothers wanted to branch out H.R. Puffenstuff. It was successful, and they wanted to do spin-offs of other characters related to Puffenstuff's world. Well, apparently they couldn't do that because this marketing firm, in conjunction with McDonald's, was developing and using their properties, quote unquote, that were similar to Kroft, and they couldn't do it. So that kind of pissed off the Kroft brothers, and that's where the litigation started, was at that point. Although the Kroft brothers weren't, they weren't completely shafted. I mean, they came up with the Bugaloos in 1970, which was a standalone show. It only lasted one season. It was live action. So the thing is, they pretty much came up with a lot of the great iconic live action stuff.
Well, they did a lot of Hanna-Barbera crossovers. Like Wonder Bug was Hanna-Barbera cartoon that they Speed Buggy or something like that. And
Speed Buggy was Hanna-Barbera, and Kroft brothers came up with Wonder Bug in a live action form.
They made a live action.
Yeah, there was similarity. Right. Yeah, there was similarities there, but the Kroft
similarities. It was a ripoff, man.
Yeah. Oh, but no question. But yeah, so there was a lot of that going on, and so they came up with Bugaloos, which it only lasted, I think, a season, but it was just basically a teenage band that had one female, three guys. And so they wore bug costumes. So they had little wings on their backs and wore bug had adventures in some kind of fictitious fantasy world, kind of like H.R. Puffenstuff. The main antagonist was played by Martha Ray.
I think they were trying to rip off the monkeys.
Probably, but it gets better. Oh, wait, there's more. So they only lasted about a season. And then they came up with the concept of the Lidsville show in 71 with Charles Nelson Riley as the main antagonist, playing Hoodoo, the magician. And now that was more akin to H.R. Puffenstuff. That was more akin to that. They had kind of a similar story, because H.R. Puffenstuff, you had the kid with the magic flute, the kid was Jimmy, played by the actor Billy Wilde. Billy Wilde was was a child actor from Britain, and he had done some things in some other movies when he was younger, and so he had some notoriety. He had some face value there, and so that of course, HR Pufnstuf's show, they did a little singing, a little dancing, a little weird stuff, whatever. So they kind of did the same thing with Lidsville. They brought another kid in.
A lot of weird stuff.
A lot of weird fantasy stuff, but it was all. I'm looking for. Oh yeah, it was all
nightmare fuel.
Oh, we're gonna get into that. We're gonna get into that here in just a second. But now, a word from File 13. I was swinging by to see the train wreck, and the shit sounds like places where child predators hang out. Boring. You're probably not wrong. File 13 in the chat again says, "Hey guys, I was observing the 23 minutes. That was that's If you like shit, there you go. That's your cup of tea.
Constipated, was it?
Yeah, there we go. There we go.
Depends.
It depends. Yeah, it depends. So, anyway, there was a lot of things that came out that were one-ofs. Lidsville, HR Puff and stuff, the Bugaloos. So a lot of things like that. Sigmund the Sea Monster was the fourth thing that came out of Kroft Super, and he freaking got dumped again. What the hell, man? Get a better Wi-Fi, Abby. Anyway, Sigmund the Sea Monster. That's coming from Wookie. Yeah. No shit. So, Sigmund the Sea Monster. Now, that ran for 2 seasons, and that was widely popular as well. That ran from 1973 to 1975. And then it ended up becoming, it was part of a show that they had. It was like the 15-minute segments. I think it was the Kroft Superstar Hour or Superstar Show or something like that. There was a couple different ones using almost the same name that they use. They just keep rehashing it. They'll change one word in the title. But that was original aired from 1973 to 1975. Sigmund the Sea Monster, and then the Sea Monster was played by Billy Barty. Now the kid, I don't know his professional name or his actual name, but the kid actor, the boy, the redheaded kid, he was the kid that played, I think, Jody in the Family Affair 1960s TV show, Family Affair, with Brian Keith and the guy that played Mr. French, the butler. And then you had Jody and Buffy, who were brother sisters. Well, this child actor, now he was older. He played in the in Sigmund the Sea Monster. Again, Billy Barty played the Sea Monster. Nice. And but he played the Sea Monster. And then they brought it back in 1975 after its initial run. And what they did was they made it a standalone from 1975 to 1978. But what they did is they took the original shows and just pieced 2 shows together to make a longer segment, 30 minutes. So, anyway, what's going on here? File 13 in the chat says, question for the panel. Are you guys punching your nuts to balance out the pain of being on? Or have you guys found center and acceptance? Thoughts? Well, no. Oh, shit. Anyway, so let me backtrack a little bit here. Since we have a video clip, let's grab where'd it go? Where's the video clip? Yes, so we're going to play this video clip just to relieve the stool samples in the chat, I guess.
We can talk fucking 5 days a day.
What
That does
the
not ring a bell.
hell? And that only ran one season, and that was part of the Kroft. That was part of the Kroft Super Show, from 76 to 77. So that actor, along with Billy Barty, who was also, they kind of reprised their roles. They renamed them to Dr. Shrinker and Hugo. That's who those two characters were in Dr. Shrinker. Mm-hmm. Changed the name from Dr. Shrinker to Dr. Death Ray, and Hugo became Otto. And then they became part of a later show that was hosted by the Bay City Rollers. And that show was... Yeah, it's the Bay City. Basically, it was called the Bay City Roller Show. The fuck is Dr. Sphincter? Yeah, Dr. Sphincter. That's that was that's the guy that was in Cannonball Run. That was always taking shots of Novocaine.
Seldom with this.
Oh yeah.
Yes. Dr. Sphincter.
Dr. Sphincter is your proctologist.
He's not mine.
No.
That's all you, Bunny. That's all you. No. So they took that character. Anyway, that character was only part of a lineup. But let me grab this here real quick. So the original lineup back in 1976, 77 season for the show called the Kroft Super Show was originally 90 minutes long, and it had Dr. Shrinker, Electro Woman and Dyna Girl, and it also had reruns of The Lost Saucer, who came out about a year or so prior, only lasted a season. That was Jim Neighbors and Ruth Buzzy. And then we have Wonder Bug that T-Bunny was referencing here. It was a ripoff of Speed Buggy, Hanna-Barbera.
And The Lost Saucer is also obviously a ripoff of Lost in Space. So.
It is. That came out in 75, I believe. Yeah, Lost Saucer.
It's almost got the same sort of fonts, doesn't it? The same sort of writing.
Yeah.
It does. Yeah. Basically, the premise is that the two aliens land their saucer in the street, across the street from a house that has a babysitter and a kid, and they basically get kidnapped. That
kid looks like Stink. That kid looks like Stink.
They I don't know what they did. They must have given him some pretty good candy to entice him to come in, like good pedophiles, and bring him on and then they took off, and then they couldn't figure out how to get home.
Right.
Because of course you do, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. The extras, you sure? There's a baby sister. Not a baby, no. Babysitter.
Babysitter.
Did I stutter? Stutter? No. So this was the lineup. They had these two shows, and these two shows were part of the original Kroft Super Show. It was originally 90 minutes. It got cut down to 60 minutes. Got cut down to an hour, and they ended up they got rid of Lost Saucer, and then just kept the other three until the second season, which was in 77, 78. Now, I pulled, and then this is what they added to the second season. They kept Wonder Bug, but they got rid of Dr. Shrinker, they got rid of Electro Woman, Dyna Girl, they replaced him with Magic Mongo, pardon me, I don't know, and Bigfoot and Wild Boy, which ended up becoming another cult classic with a lot of following, very popular.
Wookie, is that you?
What?
Bigfoot.
In my younger days.
Yeah.
Now we know what he did in the 70s.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
This moonlighting. I just didn't get that damn royalty money. Damn it. Pre Star Wars.
Sid and Marty.
That's because your management team was shit.
Yeah, exactly. It was Dewey, Screw 'em, and Hal.
Yes.
Nah, so I watched these shows. The thing is, I don't remember this Magic Mongo, and I'm pretty sure there's a good reason why, because it was shit. It's just watching
Looks
for
like
big
it looked like they cast the guy from the local bodega.
Oh,
Dude,
yeah.
I
Hey,
tried to
hey,
watch a clip of this, and the only redeeming quality is the chick in the red bikini that runs around in most of these episodes, because it mostly takes place on the beach.
So you're saying that
Oh, yeah, because it's from L.A.
You're saying that the redeeming quality is a woman in a bikini.
Uh-huh.
Surprising, isn't it?
Thank you very much, Kyle. I appreciate all the support. Thank you so much. The most pixelated. It is.
We're friends like File 13. Who needs an enema?
An enema?
Enema.
Enema. Someone? Enema. Oh, no.
What?
So,
It
yeah,
is?
So, yes. Gentlemen, rest your sphincters. So the show, actually, I have a playbill here. No, that's not. Okay, hang on a second. Keep going.
That's not
There we
it.
go. Here it is. Here it is. So this is from I don't know what publication it's from, probably a comic book or a magazine. Could even be a newspaper ad. But it's ABC All-Star Saturday for the season of 1977-78. And ABC, or actually Hanna-Barbera, pretty much owned Saturday morning cartoons on ABC. I mean, they started out with the Super Friends, which they called the all-new Super Friends Hour. And that's when they added the Wonder Twins, Zan and Jaina, and they switched it over from the guy and the chick and the dog. They got rid of them and brought these two pieces of work in there. So they dominated from 8 o'clock in the morning until 9. And then they had the Scooby-Doo All-Star Laugh Olympics, which was about 2 hours. And then they had the Kroft people, the Kroft shows, which was the Kroft Super Show with Bigfoot, Wild Boy, Mongo, and Wonderbug at 11.
It was a great time to be a kid. I mean, let's face it. I mean, they're corny, they're kish, but it was just a great time to be a kid. You know, Super Friends, Scooby Doo's Laugh Olympics, and then Kroft Super Show. It's a hell of a Saturday morning.
And then you have to understand too, there was only 3 major channels, and then there was PBS. So you had ABC, NBC, and CBS. So you would change back and forth between which shows you wanted to watch. Which, did you want to watch Warner Brothers stuff, which was probably on CBS, or did you want the Bugs Bunny stuff, or did you want to watch Hanna-Barbera, which is ABC? Did you want to go to NBC and watch the Lou Scheimer live action stuff like Jason Star Command and Arc 2 and etc. And so it's kind of like all over the place. But yeah, growing up back then was great. And you found out all about this stuff in comic books. Hello, because I still have my comic books from the 70s that have these stupid ads just like this on the back. Actually, they're promoting, it was one promotion advertising Shazam and ISIS.
Yeah.
And so I still got that. But yeah, it was interesting.
Well, I mean, you got the kids' imagination going, because all these shows were just, I mean, they were wacky, but you filled in the blanks. It's kind of like Doctor Who, early Doctor Who. Yeah, you watch it as an adult and it's corny and everything, but as a kid, you were hiding behind the sofa. I mean, it's just a great time to be a kid.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Don't post the next file. Don't post the next file.
Right.
Just skip
Coffee
that.
and eggs. Coffee and eggs file. Coffee and eggs, buddy. It does work.
There you go.
Coffee. Nature's laxative.
Anyway, yes. This was from the 77-78 season. So this is when this is the last season. By the way, the hosts were another piece of interesting work too. So you had these 90-minute or 60-minute shows that were hosted by a group of people, and Hanna-Barbera, but Kroft made a fictitious band like how the Monkees were formed. They created this fictitious band called Captain Cool and the Kongs to host the Kroft Super Show. They put them together. There were 5. They started out as 5 people, okay, and then in season 2 they became 4. So they got rid of 1, and then instead of doing a season 3 of this, which they were because I guess the ratings were pretty decent, but they didn't like Captain Cool and the Kongs. So the Kroft brothers wanted to get their hands on the Bay City Rollers, who were very popular at that time, an actual Scottish rock group. And so they actually paid them to be on, and they paid them to do the season 3, but they changed it. They changed the name to the Kroft Superstar Hour. And then after 8 episodes, they changed that to the Bay City Roller Show. And
if anybody's wondering who those guys are, it's SATER DAY. Night. That's those guys.
Exactly. Yeah. Oh, yeah. They even had their own lunchbox too. The Bay City Rollers. I think it was probably
they performed in kilts, by the way.
Oh yeah, they were. Yeah, they were. There's something else. But yeah, and so that show, the season 3, if you want to call it, or the Bay City Roller Show, that had pretty much, and they had. This is where it got interesting. This is where a lot of the crossover stuff came from. The Kroft brothers. So on the Bay City Roller Show, they didn't air any of the old shows. They had 2 new shows, and they only had 2 shows because it was originally an hour, but then it got cut down to 30 minutes. But they had 2 shows. The first one was Horror Hotel, which wasn't really horror, but what they did is they took Witchy Poo from HR Puffin Stuff. They put her in a haunted hotel as the owner and operator and manager of a hotel, playing Witchy Poo, and she had tenants. One of the tenants was Dr. Shrinker, but that's when they changed his name from Dr. Shrinker to Dr. Deathray. And he still had Billy Barty with him, and they changed his name from Hugo to Otto. So they were tenants in this hotel. But then they had the Hoodoo. They had Hoodoo, the magician from Lidsville. He was in there too. And so it played by the original characters, the actors. So it was kind of funny because they had these 2 going at each other all the time. Witchy Poo, Hoodoo, fighting each other or whatever, going back and forth. But a lot of crossover adventures there. And then they had a second show called The Lost Island. I don't remember the show. But it was kind of, it had Dr. Shrinker in it, or Dr. Deathray, as well as the Sleestack and Enoch. And Enoch was actually the king of the Sleestack at this point. They had some new characters. They had the genie wizard, or genie Weenie, the genie who was played by Billy. Forgot her name. But yeah, so they had
by the way, the Sleestacks were a direct rip-off of the Silurians from Doctor Who.
Awesome. They did a better job with Sleestacks.
Nah. Well, I mean, with Sid and Marty Krofft, you could always tell who they were ripping off. I mean, it's like they just did like a style change, a color change. But I mean, they didn't even try to hide it. I mean,
well, that's because I'm a colon cleanser.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Thanks for sharing, File. Appreciate it. Man.
So anyway, so yeah. Now, this is the Bay City Roller Show. Now, this is the one that freaked me out as a kid. So the Bay City Roller Show, they'd have guest appearances, and you had the Bay City Rollers there with Sigmund the Sea Monster, HR Puffin Stuff, as their Witchy Poo's there, and Sleestack. No, so these are all from the shows that. No, oh yeah, that's right. The Lost Island had Sigmund the Sea Monster, who was also played by Billy Barty. They had HR Puffin Stuff. They had Weenie, the genie from Lidsville, and then of course the Sleestack people, stuff like that. On the entertainment side,
The next clip I got is H&R Puffin stuff. If you want to play that.
Yeah. This character here on the left, this son of a bitch freaked me out like all hell because that big, ugly-looking, creepy bastard would eat people on the stage.
Yeah.
And you're talking about a freaking 9-10-year-old kid seeing this freaking thing come out and just swallow somebody and then walk off.
Yeah.
Holy, nightmare.
Nightmare fuel, baby. Nightmare.
Got
fuel.
that right. That's yeah. It was holy hell. It took a little while to get over that shit.
Totally watched The Creature with Boggy Creek.
Yeah, there was good. Yeah, that really. Yeah, that and The Creature from Black Lake in 1975. There's a frickin' one. Okay, which one we got here? Let's see.
The one on the
here.
left. The one on the left.
On the left.
Yeah.
On the left. On the left.
Your left, not my left.
My left. HR Puffin stuff.
There we go.
HR Puffin stuff. Push your bed when things get rough. HR Puffin stuff. Can't do a little cause you can't do enough.
Once upon a summertime, just a dream from yesterday, a boy in his magic golden flute heard a boat from off the bay.
Come and play with me, Jimmy, come and play with me, and I will take you on a trip far across the sea.
But the boat belonged to a cookie or witch who had in mind the flute to snitch.
From her broom broom in the sky, she watched her plans materialize. She waved her wand, the beautiful boat was gone. The skies grew dark, the sea grew rough, and the boat sailed on and on and on and on and on and on.
But Puffin Stuff was watching too and knew exactly what to do. He saw the witch's boat attack, and as the boy was fighting back,
He called his rescue racer crew as often they'd rehearsed, and off to save the boy they flew.
But who would get there first?
But now the boy had washed ashore, Puff arrived to save the day, which made the witch so mad and sore. She shook her fist and screamed away.
HR
Puffin stuff, push your bed when things get rough. HR Puffin stuff, can't do a little cause you can't do enough. HR Puffin stuff, push your bed when things get rough. HR Puffin stuff, can't do a little cause you can't do enough.
Oh my god.
Fuck. So yeah, Billy Hayes played Witchy Poo and played.
By the way,
the
they still
witch.
to this day they still say that they're not on drugs when they made that shit.
I can tell you that they had to be dropping some acid on that. I can tell you, holy shit, they got something going
They
on.
swear. They swear. They're like, what?
They
They
found
said you can't
mushrooms
run
at
a
that
show.
point.
Well, they said you can't run a show on drugs. You can do it after, but you can't while you're running. So.
No Spec Linux says he's puffing stuff right
direct
now.
There you go.
Holy hell! Well, hey, you know what? This has got to be puffing some stuff right here too.
Oh, wow.
I knew it was coming. It was coming.
All right, I'll get rid of it. Oh my god.
No, you won't.
I'll keep
Go
that in
ahead,
my-
keep it. Go ahead, keep
my
it.
file. I'll keep that in
Go
my
ahead, keep
filing
it.
cabinet.
I'm not made of
Anyway.
glass.
So, but yeah, so
There's another one
Yeah,
with
HR
him and
puppet
did Ralphie, so I don't do that one.
right, Ralphie, you'll shoot your eye out, kid.
Yeah, right.
Wait, that was from the Time Prophets. So yeah, he did some. Yeah, I'm sure it probably is a little more. Oh, holy shit! Okay,
let me
let's go on to
share
the
it. Let
next
me
slide.
share it. There we go.
Here's the what? What are you going to share? Send it over.
Let me share that one. So yeah,
Yeah.
hold on.
Okay.
So I got a question. So do any
Yes.
of the big three networks, ABC, NBC, CBS, do they even do Saturday morning cartoons anymore? I don't think they do.
I don't believe they do.
Oh.
Here's the thing that was always funny too, was because when I was doing the research on this, and I started noticing a trend, whereas the Kroft Superstar Super Show from 76 to 77, 78 was on ABC.
Right.
Then in 78, they switched to NBC.
Right.
And that's when they changed. They brought in the Bay City Rollers, got rid of the Captain Cool and the Kongs and all that other stuff. So they did a lot of switching around. I noticed that too, like some of the Lou Schleimer stuff, like the ISIS and Shazam and those shows, Arc 2, Jason Star Command would jump around between networks as well. Like they'd do one season on this network and then go to the other network and do another season or whatever. A lot of interchanging around after seasons were over. So,
Right.
did you got that, Bunny? You said yours was better. You're going to send that over?
Well, I'm trying to find it right quick. Find out where he put it.
So file in the chat says, yeah, they do, but not as long as they used to. Yeah, it's probably only a few hours. Hell, back in the day, it was like the whole morning until the afternoon.
I mean, you got a block of 20 channels that are just kid-related stuff like now,
Yeah, exactly.
And it's just, so I think they've kind of migrated to those kind of things,
Right, yeah, most on antenna channels.
I mean, I remember back in the day, when comics, Comedy Central first came out and stuff, a lot of it was going to there. And
Comedy Central and Cartoon Network came on the scene. It was like nuts because they tapped into a massive Hanna-Barbera freaking library of stuff that you hadn't seen since the 70s. And then the guys from Adult Swim, that's how Adult Swim started, was they took all those old shows and they morphed them and reworked them with new actors, new voice actors and stuff like that, and new artists, and took those characters.
But originally, Adult Swim didn't come on until after 11 o'clock because it wasn't really kid-oriented.
Absolutely. Yep. So now the funny thing was a lot of the Kroft properties. So from now NBC, who took over for the Kroft Superstar Hour, which ended up becoming the Bay City Roller Show, in 1978, they started. This is NBC started running the Kroft shows in an umbrella title slot called the Kroft Superstars or Kroft Superstars.
Right.
Anyway, that came from 1978 to 1985. So those shows.
The picture, by the way.
We started seeing those shows. I remember those back from the early 80s.
Right.
Let's see here. Let's see what's he got here. Something risque.
You look like a deranged bunny.
Nice. Yes.
That kind of emphasizes the fact I do look like Ralphie. So there you go. There. All right. There you go.
Go stick your tongue on the frozen flagpole, kid.
Yeah. I double dog dare you.
Oh, that's a good one. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Anyway. Where was I? Oh yes, I was over here. So yeah, we played the clip from the HR Puffin stuff, and again we started off by talking about the lawsuit that came from events that happened after HR Puffin stuff, which I think McDonald's and HR and Kroft, they pretty much, the suit was finalized and everything in the mid 80s, if I'm not mistaken. And the thing was that the creators of the McDonaldland stuff, this marketing company in conjunction with McDonald's, took the concept of having a large oversized head main character, which was Mayor McCheese. They made him a mayor. He had a sash that said mayor. H.R. Puffenstuff was the mayor with a sash that said mayor. And so those similarities with the big head and everything, I guess there possibly was some other similarities in there. But yeah, it's the fact that H.R. Puffenstuff was in a living island that had a lot of inanimate objects that were living, and that's kind of how McDonaldland was. So you had
And
a lot
let's
of
face it,
inanimate
Ray
objects.
Kroc had a history of doing this. That's how he got
Oh,
McDonald's.
that's how he got McDonald's. He
Yes.
ripped it
That's
off
how
from
he
the
got it
McDonald
in.
brothers.
Ripped
Right.
it directly off, and then
He was a
changed this and
milkshake
changed that.
machine. He
Yeah.
was a milkshake machine salesman and ripped them the hell off big time.
And then wrote him out of the history of it. Wrote him
Yeah,
out
pretty
of
much.
the history. Called himself
Pretty
the
much
founder.
screwed him over hardcore.
So yeah, him doing this to H&R Puffins or the Sid and Marty Krofft is just it's grist for the mill. That was the way he became a multi-billionaire. So there you go.
The movie Founder was pretty good. It kind of detailed that, how he ripped them off.
It did. He's a total complete slime ball, but
Yeah.
you know. So.
Oh yeah, he was.
And then he would just litigate people into the ground. That's what he did to the original McDonald brothers. One of them died of a heart attack because of all
Right.
the litigation. So
Right.
Yeah, he was a pretty unscrupulous bastard.
Oh, totally.
Oh,
Only
yeah.
in America could you create somebody that
Only
that
in
vile.
America.
So,
Absolutely. Yeah, File 13 in the chat says, damn it, he remembered his place. This was your opportunity, guys, to have redirected the stream to finally become entertaining. Rookie mistake. I'm disappointed with the panel. He has control.
yeah, well,
Well, File, we don't have your sense of timing
Holy
on this
shit.
show.
Anyway, yeah, we're a little sluggish and old over here.
yeah.
Yeah,
Some of us have
Yeah.
class, not the upstage people, but that's okay.
Oh, what the hell?
Oh.
That's totally fine. You know.
Hey now.
Different styles, different strokes.
Hey
for
now.
different folks, you know. There you go. That's
Anyway.
for the funny shit. Okay.
Yeah, that's HR Puffin stuff. Now here's the Boogaloos I talked about before, and they were a standalone show. Again, Martha Ray was the main antagonist. That's her at the bottom there. She was the main antagonist, and this little group is 3 guys and 1 chick, and she was reasonably attractive for a teenager. I guess she was a teenager. I have no idea. But they ran for a season. They were part. You would find them on. Sometimes they would rerun their shows on some of the other. Because this was a standalone show. Because they were from 1970 to 72, but they only had, I think, 18 episodes. Oh, jeez. Wait. Copyright strike. Anyway, holy crap. Anyway, so this they claim this was 2 seasons, but I think it was only like 17 episodes of this show. But then they kept on once NBC, I guess, had all the property rights or the broadcast rights, so it became part of their rotation in 78 to 85. So you'd see the Bugaloos back then in the later 70s, even though the show had already been over and done with since freaking 72. I don't even know who these actors are. I just know Martha Ray. So, but then of course there's
She was the
Lidsville.
Bob Olive chick, wasn't she?
Martha Ray?
No.
Yeah. No. Okay.
No, that wasn't her.
No, not Martha Ray.
Oh, okay.
No. Not that I can recall. She did do she did a Polydent commercial.
Molly Dent. That's the one I'm thinking.
She did the Polydent stuff.
Okay.
Take it from me, big mouth. Because she always, because she had a big freaking mouth.
All right.
I mean, physically.
That one's
So-
Rosie. I'm sorry. Rosie some of them.
Yeah. Rosie. Yeah, I know who you're talking about. Yeah. But yeah, so
I
Lidsville,
get
of
those
course,
mixed up.
Charles Nelson Riley was a comedian at the time. And I think this was This was because this is pre Hollywood Squares for him as far as being the center square. Charles Nelson Riley.
I thought that was
Also-
Paul Lynde.
They both were center square, but no, Charles Nelson Riley. I think
sounded
in the latter
they
days-
sounded a lot alike though. They did.
Well, Paul Lynde. I think he became it in the 70s, and then I think Charles Nelson Riley took over in the early 80s to late 80s.
Because he passed away in the mid 80s, didn't he?
Who?
Charles Nelson Riley.
yeah.
No, I thought he passed away later than that. Probably was Paul Lynde who passed away. I don't know.
Yeah, might
But
have
he was the notable name on the show. I don't even know who the kid actor was that played the boy. But this was definitely some sort of mushroom trip because you've got talking hats.
No, it was a Creative Minds, John. It was Creative Minds, Wookie.
Wait. Yes, low spec Linux. Yes, Lidsville. A lid is a bag of weed back there. Yes, it was.
Once again, according to Sid and Marty Krofft, they just had an active imagination. They weren't on drugs. They were not on drugs. Until after the show. But while they were running the show, they weren't on drugs. So.
Wookie, file in the chat says, Wookie told me he used to prance around like Paul Lynde until the kids started calling him a quee.
By the way, Weird Al has a Charles Nelson Riley song. You need to hear it.
Oh, shit.
It's set to the. It's a style of White Stripes. It's hilarious.
Charles Nelson Riley.
Yeah.
Well, he played on the 60s hit TV show Ghost of Mrs. Muir. So yeah, he was on that when he was still bald, and then when he got on Hollywood Squares, he had hair. Imagine that.
Yeah. Curious.
I know, right?
It's like Dean Koontz up to about 2000 or so had an author's photo where he was balding, and then suddenly he has a full head of hair, and it's like, yeah,
exactly.
Dean. And nobody's going to figure it out, Dean.
Yeah, exactly. No one cares. So Sigmund and the Sea Monsters. I always used to get the title Sigmund the Sea Monster, but it's Sigmund and the Sea Monster. So Billy Barty played Sigmund. And then, of course, the redheaded kid I talked earlier about was the kid that played on Family Affair. What the fuck? File 13 in chat says, okay, no one talks about that little Italian angel.
He's responding to something else.
Oh. Wait. That'd be someone in the chat. Boy, you're like stereo too.
Yeah.
Prance, he danced like John Travolta in Saturday Night Fever. Yes, I did, baby. Staying alive. Disco ball. Holy shit. So, no, Sigmund and the Sea Monsters was another popular one. And again, this was a standalone, or actually it was, let me get my shit here. It was from 73 to 75. And it was part of another show. It was 15-minute segments. And then in 75 to 78, they made it a standalone. It wasn't part of any of the Kroft shows. It was just its own TV show. And they pieced together the 15-minute episodes and made them 30-minute episodes in a block, or blocked it that way so they could have a good season. And then that was from 75 to 78. Then in 1978 and afterwards to 85, it was part of their the Superstar show, and they showed the original 15-minute episodes. So
I've got the opening for it. That's on the right. Clips on the right.
There it is. It's on the right. How dare you?
So didn't the redhead kid, wasn't he in Family Affair?
Yeah. He was.
Played Jody.
Yep. Buffy and Jody. With Brian Keith.
Yep. Victor French.
Yep.
Yeah, I think he died young. No, I'm wrong. He's still alive.
Yeah, he's still alive. I think the girl though that played Buffy, I think she
He's
had
63
a
now.
OD'd.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he's still alive. I've seen him do an interview or something like that. He
Yeah.
probably does the cons. He probably goes around and does the cons. Kind of like how Wesley and
I got him
girl
mixed
that
up with the kid
ran
from.
Ross.
I got him mixed up from the kid from Mary Poppins. They looked a lot alike. That's my fault.
Yeah, there we go. What the hell's going on here? File 13 in the chat. He was also one of Jeffrey Dahmer's victims. Again, he says that puffy thing is very touchy-feely. You think the guy under the suit pulled his package out like the Teen Wolf scene? Don't know.
That's oddly specific. That sounds like something
Yes, I
he
know.
paused or something. I don't know.
Right.
Anyway,
I know. Hey, hang on one second. I gotta go deal with the dog over here. He's going nuts. I'll be right back.
Okay, now it's time to take over the stream.
all right, no problem. That's okay. That's okay. That's all right. We'll just sit here and twiddle our thumbs till he gets back. No big deal. Just go in the middle of the screen.
Yep.
No biggie.
Yeah.
Well, one thing about Sid and Marty, though, that I mean, these guys, they were like basically self-sabotage kings. I mean, every time they got any kind of momentum, they switched off of it and did something else.
Yeah.
And it's like, I mean, they had ADHD or is all that coke they didn't snort. But
hence their shows only lasting a season or two at a time.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and
they got bored and they switched up the show so drastically in the middle of the show that people lost interest because so well, this ain't the show that I started with, and they did it all the damn time.
Maybe they switched
Right.
up the
What's
drugs
that?
as well. Who knows?
Maybe, I don't know. I mean, they still. I mean, all the way up to the day Marty died, they were like, we weren't on drugs. We swear we weren't on drugs. But then people that are on drugs were like, people that are on drugs are like, watch this stuff and like, yeah, they were totally on drugs.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, I've never done drug in my life, but every time I watch them, I feel like I have. You know.
Well, it's like that that classic scenario. Do you know how you can tell who's drunk? Because they'll deny being drunk. I'm drunk.
I'm not as drunk as you thought I was.
I'm cold sober. I'm cold sober.
I'm not as stink as drunk you are.
Well, I mean, it's the thing. The thing about it was they had momentum multiple times. I mean, major momentum. I mean, they were like iconic. They had the zeitgeist. By the
Oh, look who showed up!
Uh-oh.
Well. Look who
Time Prophet.
Oi, Time Prophet, you're late. The hell,
Oh,
Time
great.
Prophet.
Now we get File 13 and Time Prophet at the same time.
Oh, this is going to be
great.
fun. Let the train wreck begin.
Hang on a second.
Non-stop abuse.
Wait. Yeah, here we go. Here
The
we
bell
go.
code.
Bleachers, Teen Wolf.
Bleachers.
Okay.
Yep.
What in the? Okay. Yep, there we go. Let me shut up. Seriously, how bored are you guys? Yeah,
We're
right.
having a good time, File.
Time
You might be
Prophet's
bored
like
with your
hell.
ADHD,
And then he's missed nothing. He missed like the Time Prophet over here. I was watching a good movie, The Belko. What?
What is
All
the
right, whatever
Belko
that is.
experience?
I have no idea what that is. He also says I didn't spend all my time on the
it's a
internet. Only just
conspiracy
got
theorist.
the bunny's message. Yeah. Wait. Hey, Prophet, my Papa Cotton in the chat there. So let's see here. Okay. Well, there we go. Yeah. We bored you. Sigmund the Sea Monster. So here's the most popular one. It's probably the one we all want to talk about. It's Land of the Lost. Land of the Lost. That baby ran from 1974 to 1976-77. Had 43 episodes. It was a standalone. And then they did put it into their Superstar show back in the 80s. They reran, and they also reran it individually too on its own. But yeah, these two, the boy, the Wesley, and I don't remember the name of the girl, but they're still alive, and they go to a lot of the cons and stuff like that and fan stuff. So a lot of the conventions, autographs, pictures, the whole 9 yards, taking pictures of folks and stuff. So, so yeah, wait, what? So what the hell? Anyway,
By the way,
The
Velcro
Sleestack-
Experiment's a horror movie. So
All right.
oh, okay, cool. There we go.
about some people being locked into the place where they work with explosive bombs stuck in their head and told to fight it out. So it's a comedy.
Right.
There you go. Anyway.
File in the chat says that picture smells like high karate and day after sex.
With a little girl in it. That's a nice
Oh,
way.
dude.
Okay.
Oh.
So he sees that picture and thinks
I
sex.
don't have any
What
idea.
kind of life
I don't
has he
have
got,
any
man?
idea.
Seriously.
I don't know what's going on around here. Anyway, so Land of the Lost, the Sleestack are the most iconic thing. Like you said, there was a ripoff from Doctor Who, right? The Sleestack is what you're alleging.
Oh, they are a direct ripoff. I mean, the Silurians look exactly like them.
Yeah.
I mean, same head shape and everything. I mean, correct me, Cruel. Don't they look like the Silurians?
I don't remember what the Silurians look like, to be honest.
This is when you need Gobby Guy on, damn it.
I haven't watched Doctor Who.
Or-
in a
One
long
time
time.
we
Or
need
problem.
Gobby Guy. The
I
one
haven't
time
watched
we
problem
need
Doctor Who
Gobby
in
Guy.
a decade.
Not here.
Yeah, right.
Gobby will be here soon.
Oh, God.
Ah, shit.
Hopefully,
Yep.
it's been an hour.
Damn it.
He's in the chat. Hello.
That's why I
You
said
got
it.
God. You got God. There he is.
Damn it.
There he is.
That's
Hello.
why I
I'll
said it,
help
'cause
you
I saw
there.
it.
And yep,
10 technical
Okay.
issues. Okay.
no
It's
problem.
small.
He can
Small.
straighten it out. He can straighten it out.
No
Gobby is
problem.
called throwing it through the window.
Yes, right. Throwing it through the window. Give it a good bash.
A nice hammer does well.
Yeah.
Yes.
There you go.
So, hey, Bunny, what's that other one? There's another
That's
one.
that's actually the Brady Bunch family.
The Brady
Hour.
Bunch Hour. Yeah.
Variety Hour, yeah.
Yeah.
They had a variety hour.
They actually produced it.
They did. Yeah. They also produced the Barbara Mandrell, the Mandrell Sisters show as well. They did the
whole
Brady
bunch
Bunch
of them.
Hour.
You
the
pulled that
Mandrell
one out of your ass.
Sisters, and something else. Oh yeah, I did. Right? Smells
no.
like roses.
Pretty much every,
Smells like flowers.
all the horrible
There's like
variety
roses.
hours from like the
Mostly.
late 70s and 80s. That
Yeah,
was Sid and
that's-
Marty Krofft producing.
Yeah, that was the horrible one. Yeah, Donnie and Marie
Yeah.
Osmond.
Oh my god.
You know who wrote the music for the Captain Cool and the Kongs? All that music was written by the Osmonds. Holy shit!
Jesus.
the Osmonds
Kroft
were
brothers
actually
Bunch of Mormons.
No, but the Krofts had some kind of deal with the Osmonds, and they just did all their musical. They composed all their music.
The Osmonds actually had one of the first hard rock hits on the radio. It's called Wild Horses. You got to hear
Oh,
it.
really?
I mean, it's way harder than you ever thought the Osmonds could do. I mean, it's got a heck of a riff to it, man.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of those oddities. You're like, that came from the Osmonds? They're like, yeah,
Right? Yeah.
sure, they did.
It was there. The rebellious stage.
Must have been Donnie.
Rebellious for Mormons.
When they came off of a mission trip.
Right.
They need some release.
Yeah. What is that?
Crazy.
What is that the Amish do? They send their kids away for a couple of years to see if they want to become Amish or regular.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Very few of them come back.
Right.
Rumspringer.
Bubba Cotton in the chat says,
that's what it's called.
I shoved a whole bag of jelly beans up my butt, and 24 hours later, I still haven't seen one of them. They're like nanobots. They've assimilated you.
Thanks for sharing.
The Borg.
Thank you. As I drink my coffee.
The Borg.
That's a hell of a sugar buzz, though.
Assimilated.
Right.
Got that right. That's a hell of a sugar fix.
Yeah. Holy shit.
That's one way of doing it, huh?
Absorbed it.
I
through
prefer
the,
eating them myself. But, you know,
Right.
To each his own. To each his
Well.
own. But,
He's
what
saving them
the
for later.
hell?
He's saving
What
them for
the
later.
It's not a good storage spot. Okay, just ask any mule.
No,
it's not a good storage spot.
Yeah. It's not good for gerbils either. Just ask Richard Gere, allegedly.
Allegedly.
Mostly.
Allegedly. Time Prophet in the chat says,
Just ask Rock Hudson. Just ask Rock Hudson. Yeah.
He's dead. Can't do that.
I thought that was Richard Gere.
No, he's
That's
still
a
alive.
gerbil. He was a gerbil.
God.
He can tell you about live animals.
Yeah.
Poor
Oh
gerbil.
my God.
Poor gerbil.
Holy crap. Yeah. Poor gerbil. Anyway, in Land of the Lost, there's no gerbils. There's just claymation stop motion dinosaurs and hideous monster guys in bad suits that don't fit well. Costumes. But the Land of the Lost was a big. It is still popular to this day. I mean, obviously, they tried to do a more modern version back in the 90s, and then they came out with the movie. They did the movie with Will Ferrell, which I didn't really like. Unfortunately,
Well, they tried to go comedy. They tried to make it a comedy more than a serious.
No,
it
straight
just
up
didn't.
science fiction.
It didn't jive because they replaced characters. They didn't have Will and Holly. They didn't have the son and daughter, the brother sister thing. They had some random guy, and
well, see, it's like the
whatever.
people that have abused Doctor Who in recent years. They don't understand that these shows were made straight up and down. They were at the time that they were out. They were, culturally relevant. They were serious shows.
Yeah, they were.
So when people go back and remake these,
Land of the Lost,
Land of the Lost, canon.
Land of the Lost, the TV show Land of the Lost, of all the Kroft productions, as far as the live action TV Saturday morning stuff, Land of the Lost was the most darkest because it did deal with life and death situations. Right. Life and death situations, people in harm, like falling off a cliff or whatever, being eaten, stuff like that. So there was kind of a constant life and death scenario.
I don't know how many times those people went over a waterfall, but they went over a waterfall like every other episode.
I know.
Like, what in the world, man?
Oh, yeah. When Time Prophet in the chat there says, "Please stop interrupting Wookiefever. He is trying to sound professional." Thank you very much.
What else past
Stress the trying.
What else past participle are we supposed to use? If this was a previous thing that happened, then they is the past participle. So yeah,
they them.
They yeah.
Oh, don't start this bullshit.
That's the pronoun.
We'll wait till Problem Being comes on and we can have a pronoun discussion.
Oh, fuck.
He'll give you an opinion. He'll give you an
Wind him
opinion.
up, and let him go.
Oh shit!
Oh no.
There you go.
Yes. So the show was great in that it was part of a darker realm than the other Kroft properties. I mean, you had some really freaking corny, campy stuff in the Electro Woman and Dyna Girl stuff, and Lidsville's extremely campy.
Yeah.
Bugaloos are everything was campy except for Land of the Lost. Land of the Lost had that darker edge to it. It kind of set itself apart from the rest of the properties. By
the way,
Sid and
File
Marty Krofft.
13 almost gave you a compliment.
Almost. It's like horseshoes and hand grenades. Almost.
I know, right? Close.
It still has that patented File 13 steer, but it actually sounds complimentary.
Yeah.
So there you go. Ish.
Well,
Yeah.
Oh, holy crap.
Well, no Gabi yet, huh?
I haven't. He's not popped in yet. He's probably still trying to work out whatever technical things he has going on. What the hell is this?
There he's back. And he's back.
Yeah, well.
He's like,
and you notice they went over the waterfall. I don't think they had life vests on either.
No,
they didn't have. It was the 70s. They didn't have to have them back then. It wasn't required. It wasn't an OSHA requirement.
No, it wasn't an OSHA requirement.
You didn't have to do seatbelts back then.
Yeah, no shit. Or wear a helmet on a motorcycle.
No, you didn't. No seatbelts, no helmets.
No.
Just throw the kid in the back seat and let him go eat shit.
I don't know how many
good old times, the fun times.
Yes.
Going over
and now, without further delay and ado, we have the one and only Gobster.
Hello, everyone.
Oh, hell. Thank God. Gabi here. We're all going to survive.
Hello. The echo's on. Sorry. Hello, everyone.
Hey.
How you doing, guys?
We all saved. Gabi here.
Okay, Gabi, quick Doctor Who question.
Yeah.
All right, quick Doctor Who question. How close were the Slee Stacks to the Silurians?
Who gives a shit?
I don't care. Thank you for that. Gabi gets here, I can ask Gabi, but that's not.
Yeah.
Direct and to the point.
The man chose violence today. The man chose violence today.
Okay, so Gabi, the bunny's trying to insinuate that the Slee Stacks from the Kroft show Land of Lost were ripoffs of the Silurians from Doctor Who.
Probably. Everybody rips everybody off.
And I'm kind of in the same camp as you are. Who gives a shit? I don't really care if they were ripoffs.
I'm just making a point about how they they would borrow from everywhere. So.
Everybody rips everybody off in sci-fi. Everybody and things. Everybody rips everybody off. Who were first? The Borg. They were ripped off. It's
yeah.
For a second, my sense time on the street. Old squaddy's got to come here and lay down the law, mate. That's what
There we go. There we go.
What then? Cartoons.
So Gabi, you're familiar with Land of the Lost and stuff like that, right? HR.
No idea what the hell you're on about, mate.
Okay.
Probably because most of it's American, and I don't know. I mean, I know Jason and the Star Command because I actually used to watch that. That was pretty cool. But some of the other shows, no idea, mate. I'll be honest, I haven't got a clue. I haven't got a clue.
Okay, they didn't. They didn't run into those over there.
No, Jason and Star Command. I remember. Who's got a lightning detector on? I can hear a lightning alarm going off.
That's my phone.
Well.
Come on, Abby. Come on.
Thunders are coming.
Yes, right.
Mute that bitch. Mute that bitch.
Well, no, don't mute it in case you get a tornado alarm. You might need to move then. They are quite important.
That's true. That's true. Yeah. Never mind. Never mind.
As you see, I'm no longer in the shed. I'm in the house.
I was going to say,
I see that. It's more comfortable.
More comfortable, bleeding warm. It's -3 outside. I ain't freezing out there. No.
I hear you.
Not that for a game of soldiers. I'm too old for freezing my butt off anymore. So
Yeah, there you go.
There you
look
go.
at that. All the Christmas
Yeah,
decorations
You're
are up.
going to say you got festive too.
Nice.
What's going on?
He's all he's got his garland there. I like it.
There is.
I like it.
There you go.
Look at you, Santa Claus.
Oh, wait a minute.
Oh,
He's got that S&M Santa up there.
You know, I
Oh,
said
yeah,
that.
you could do it, you know.
Fuck your
Santa
holly.
in a sling. Elf on a
Sling. Legs are positioned
elf on a
just right.
shelf. Santa in a sling.
Oh. There you
Got
go.
him right where you want him. Oh, God.
Absolutely. Always ready and willing. Always ready and willing.
There you go.
Yes. Well, you got.
Yeah,
I've got one
I like
of
that
them.
swing, too.
I've got one of them.
Likes that swing.
There you go. There you go.
Oh, there you go.
Oh,
hold on a minute.
holy
It won't, be
shit.
long, it won't be long before Doctor Who's on. Yay.
Yeah, yay.
Wonder what pronouns I'll be misgendering this time.
Right.
Okay,
No idea.
is it actually,
No idea.
Gabi, is it actually coming on tonight over there?
Yeah, it's going to be on in an hour.
Is this the second? Is this the second installment?
Pilot steaming. Entertainment.
Yes. Of the second episode of the Suicide Watch.
Don't hold back, Gabi. Tell us how you really feel.
Yeah, I'll just
Oh,
sit on the
God.
fence on this one.
Desecration.
The best thing is, if people
Hey,
think,
let's bring back the most popular doctor from the modern age and then desecrate the shit out of him. Hey, there we
oh,
go.
trust me, the information I've been told
yours,
is
man.
going to get a lot worse, and people are not going to like it after the third one.
There we go.
It's going to
really
be
gonna
worse.
get
It's going to get worse. Yeah.
Oh, seriously,
It'll really get worse.
I'm gonna,
Yeah.
File 13 in the chat says, now I have this image of baby oil covered Gabi on OnlyFans. Love you, buddy.
he's only saying that because he was the only one that's paid to watch me do it.
There you go.
Love you, man, love you.
There you go. In other words, if Gabi's on, it's only fan. It's only fan.
Yeah, only fan. I've only got one, and it's him.
All right.
Well, actually, I think I got the second one is my old Sergeant Major. I think he tunes in as well.
Nice. There you go.
That's one of those
There you
fetish kind of things in it.
No.
So there you go.
Wow.
But no,
Simple
it's,
pie.
yeah, a lot of Doctor Who fans are going to be very, very upset at the end of this third one. I'm telling you now, it's really not going to go well. So, there you
Well,
go.
I don't. Yeah, I never
Yeah, the
had
rumors
any
have
already
interest
started,
in watching this either. So.
I saw clips.
yeah, I know
I
it's
saw the
you.
clips of
I
this,
know.
first
He
one.
knows.
It looked crap.
Yeah.
Well,
Oh man.
the first one was message and pronoun central. The second one, well, no one knows because they kept the second one secret. But what's coming at the end of the third one when Shooty Gatwan gets introduced? He's gonna destroy the canon and basically say you accept the new show or go away. For all intents and purposes, it's going to take
What?
a
Oh,
massive
really?
dump on us. Oh God, a huge
It's going to
dump.
solidify the
Now
child of time.
here's
for
something.
all
Now, Gabi,
time.
I don't know. Now, referring to the, I remember when Jodie was still doing the Doctor.
Yeah.
Poorly. There was some talk by other channels. I think it was Doomcock supposedly had some information, or somebody did. And this is several years ago. They talked about that Tennant was going to come back as a Doctor, and they're basically going to massacre him.
Well, I tell you what,
In
Yeah.
the
They already
60th.
did.
They were referring to the 60th, but this is back in like 2017, 2018, 2019. Or actually, I think it was like 2019 or 2020. I remember somebody talking about that several times on one of the other bigger channels, how they were going to just pretty much just destroy it.
as I was going to do the video tomorrow, which I still am, but I might as well break it on here. There is going to be no regeneration. Shooty is going to be made to appear by the toy maker. The TARDIS will no longer be a blue box. It's going to be retired. Shooty will get a new TARDIS that will not look like the old one. And basically, you are being told the classic is going to die. And it will be the new one, hence why it's now going to be listed as season 1 when Shooty starts. And ladies and gentlemen, I will then introduce you to Disney Doctor Who, because that's what it is. And if you want any information on why you know it's Disney, I can now go back to the issue with Davros. Remember all that bit about the wheelchair?
Oh yeah.
Right. They're tied to using the same actor for
the guy
Davros.
looks like Grand Moff Tarkin.
Yeah. So they're tied to having to use him as the voice of Davros. So he has to be there. But it wasn't Russell T Davies who had a problem with him being in a wheelchair. It was Disney. Disney said that if you want to use that actor, only use a disabled wheelchair user to play a wheelchair-bound person. So they had to do what they did with the Davros actor, because he was forced. It doesn't matter him saying, "Oh, I had a problem." No, this was from Disney. Disney insisted that it must be a wheelchair user in a wheelchair to play the role. So he was caught between a rock and a hard place. He had to use the actor, but couldn't use him in a wheelchair. Hence, you got what you got. That's why.
It basically what it is the diversity, equity, inclusion bullshit that basically was dictating how to make the show.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. He did have a choice. He didn't have to bring Davros in. He didn't have to make it when it was. He didn't have to break canon. He didn't have to come out and say, "I was a beautiful, brilliant woman 60 minutes ago," which was a load of shite. She was the worst thing that ever happened to Doctor Who, ever. But he couldn't have done it. But that is what happened. He was positioned in a position where he couldn't win. He had to use the actor. He had no choice, but he couldn't put him in a wheelchair. So there you go. That's why. And that's what's going to happen.
The thing is, though, according to canon, that's not necessarily a wheelchair. That's a life support unit.
It was a life support unit, yeah? In the original script, which some idiot brought up to try and justify the existence, it says wheelchair on the script. It says that because that was the whole idea, to visualize it for the prop makers, what he was going to sit in. But because it says wheelchair on the original, that's what he means. It's nothing to do with that whatsoever. It was a life support system. But what you're going to get at the end of this one, Shooty's season 1 will be Disney's Doctor Who. It will not be what the show that we've known for the last 60 years. Tennant was brought back with Catherine Tate to piss all over the classic fans and to destroy the show right in front of your faces. And people are not going to be happy. That's why it's season 1. That's why it's called season 1 when Shooty starts, not any other season.
Right.
They're starting a whole new series at this point.
It's basically another.
Why not Disney's done it?
It's just a whole new different.
Yep.
It's a different franchise. Then it's a different everything.
Yeah.
There's nothing similar to it at all.
They're going to scrub the history of Doctor Who.
All Disney. All Disney bullshit.
Exactly, because like the new Doctor, the other Doctors, when they're the Doctor, what do? They wear pretty much the same thing in every episode. This new Doctor is going to change his appearance at every single episode. He'll be wearing period clothing.
Yep.
Because I don't know, because it's the show. They're turning it into a Disney show, and that's what it's not going to be Doctor Who. The whole idea, the reason the Doctor wears what they wear is when you watching the show, you can see the Doctor. You know which one's the Doctor. But now, it's going to be horrendous. Don't get me wrong. There have been, obviously, Doctors have changed costumes during the show, but it's the same kind of thing that they used to wear.
Right.
This is going to be a different costume every single episode. So it's not going to be the Doctor Who you know. It really isn't. So there you go.
No.
So when I said it's going to get worse, it's going to get worse.
Are they trying to intentionally tank the whole series?
Yes.
Yes.
They are tanking all pop culture. They are destroying all pop culture.
Yeah.
It's Marxism.
Yep. They're turning around and saying to all the... Let's be honest, if it wasn't for all the older fans of Doctor Who and for Star Trek and for Star Wars, it wasn't for the older fans keeping it going while nothing was happening, these shows wouldn't be here. But they don't want you. Basically, what you're going to say at the end of the third one is, like it or lump it. Make your choice. And they don't care. They're that arrogant. They think that they're going to carry an audience over.
Yeah, see,
and we're
yeah,
not.
and-
Look at the viewing figures for the Star Beast. No matter how much they spin it, 5 million people is a crap audience for Doctor Who. It's awful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When
yeah.
in Tennant, when he was in his his heyday, he was pulling in 10 to 30 million people an episode.
Absolutely.
And I'm telling you now, the next one, this one that's
Yeah.
going to be on in a bit, it'll be just over 4 million, I reckon. You're going to have a huge drop off because you just look at YouTube. That video and the amount of videos that come out screaming, "What the hell was that?"
Yeah,
it's going to have an effect. Word of mouth. Word of mouth.
Oh yeah.
Look at the Marvels. Everybody went to watch the Marvels. Word of mouth. 80% drop off in the second week.
Well, even channels that push woke ideology are saying, what
Even
the hell
they're
is
going.
that?
Yep.
Even
Everybody's
they're saying it.
And if they're saying it,
BBC's own website said, "What the hell?"
Their
was
own
that?
critics said it was a preachy episode that became nothing but about the message. If your own critic is saying that, how bad is it? How
Using critical drinker's word. Using
Exactly.
critical drinker's word for it.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's huge. That means that they're
huge.
watching.
They're watching and they know. And Russell, I don't care. Russell's got to be crapping his pants now because he's made terrible decisions over things. But come on. He's even commissioned his own show about him and Doctor Who. I mean, and it's going to be on BBC. I shit you not. How narcissistic, egotistical arsehole makes his own show blowing smoke up his own ass.
That's next level.
Yeah.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
It's sheer arrogance.
But here's the thing. You've hit the common denominator on the destruction of fandom, especially here in the States, is Disney.
Yes.
You look at every property. I'm not just talking the ones that they have bought in the last 20 freaking years. Their
own properties.
They have destroyed their own legacy, which was strong prior to them ever purchasing Marvel, Star Wars, the Henson products, any of that stuff. It was way strong. It was strong before all of that, and now the whole place is going into the toilet fast.
Well, the animated film that they put out. Well, the animated film they put out, Wish, was completely
Wish was supposed to be.
It was
an
a complete
homage
Marxist
to...
piece of shit. It pulled all these things in. It's 100 years of animation that they're supposed to be honoring, and it brought in all this stuff from all these animated films, and it was basically a Marxist. It was basically a Marxist fairy tale, and it was god awful.
Yeah,
and it's already gone off the radar.
I heard it was garbage.
It's already gone off the radar.
Yeah,
where parents were coming up and asking cinema owners, "Is this okay for my kids to watch?"
Right, because you don't know.
Because you don't know. Because let's be honest, it's preachy crap.
Yeah,
I mean, they did this.
It's indoctrination.
It is. It's pure indoctrination, or as the indoctrination.
Right,
people. Like that word. But the thing is, it's like they did do a thing where it's on. I think it's on Disney, where they did a celebration of 100 years of animation, where they brought all the animated characters together. That was
it's the Holocaust.
Yeah,
it's the Holocaust.
Well, yeah, it's all over. But that one Disney did with the 100 years, where they brought all the characters back and did an animated thing. If you watch that on Disney, it's only like a 10-minute thing. Now that's how you celebrate 100 years of an animation studio.
Right.
That's brilliant because it doesn't preach.
Right.
It just brings out the characters. You love the music, everything. Awesome. Absolutely brilliant. But when you've got parents turning up at a film at the cinema going, "Is this okay for my kids to watch?" There's a major problem.
Yes.
Yeah.
Call us far right.
They can't even trust Pixar. They can't even fucking trust Pixar.
Look, Pixar have gone.
No.
Pixar. I mean, what did that last one they released?
Pixar is Disney now, so it's just
Elementals. That Elementals movie was god awful.
Absolutely.
And the Buzz Lightyear had a lesbian kiss in it.
And Bomb.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing too. You look at all the properties, and we'll look at Wish. originally when they were when they were getting together to come up with the movie, the writing the script and everything like that, they had writers on there that were veteran Disney writers, and they were going to bring, those people were going to bring, like Gabi was saying, when they bring all these characters together to celebrate 100 years of Disney's properties, right? Well, apparently, like everything else with these woke-ass companies, they get the activists in there as well. So you have too many freaking people in the writer's room that are there because they're a diversity hire and not because they're actually good and entertaining.
No.
So they end up taking over everything. And there was a
Screen
news
Rant
story.
Actually had animators.
Yeah, you're right.
Screen Rant
had some animators that were talking about
that.
Yeah.
Well, it goes back to the comedian
they said it was
Rob Schneider.
They booted everybody out the door that knew anything about it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it was all dominated by activists. Not
well, Rob Schneider
creators.
did a joke about like airlines. One of these major airlines was doing a hiring thing for new pilots, and they said that they were going to hire based on equity. And he goes, "What? Why don't you hire it based on how many hours these guys had in the chair?"
The other day, I saw where an Obama administration edict tried to make equity hiring with air traffic controllers. You know how many near misses there has been in the last 3 years? It's gone way up, and nobody's talking about it. There's last 2 weeks there's been 3 near misses. Near misses.
Yeah,
right.
And nobody wants to talk about it because of that. So,
but you look at the
fly
things
safe,
like
everybody.
What's that? That's why I haven't flown in like 25 years. So yeah, screw that.
No.
But no, you have to look at what's going on with these properties.
Qualified to do the job now, would we?
Stop being
Why would you do that?
Qualifications? That's racist qualifications.
No, you're not qualified.
But their diversity score is through the roof.
Oh yeah, it ticks every box. Can he fly? He had a few hours of Microsoft Flight Simulator.
Yeah,
there you go.
Right, good. He just can't land.
It doesn't matter. He checks the box. The box. It doesn't matter.
Can you imagine on Final Approach? And he turns around and goes, I had the old model. Can you remember where the undercarriage switch is on these things? I don't know where it is.
Yeah,
yeah.
Oh, tell you what.
I didn't make it this part in the simulator.
Yeah. I never got to the bit. I never did that.
By the way,
I
got Native American ancestry. So
there you go.
Down.
Oh, there you go.
Pilot. Here in the UK, the RAF have actually just recently done for racism because they would only hire ethnic minority pilots and bypass white pilots, and they've actually been pulled up in the court and they've been done basically sued over it for breaking the law. But there was a load of white pilots who were kicked out. Basically, they weren't even given the opportunity. Look. I'm all for diversity and inclusion. It's right. It's the correct thing to do. But you don't do it to sacrifice safety.
It was happening anyway.
No.
It was happening anyway. You didn't have to force it.
When I was in the military...
You're saying that minorities, the only way they can get a job is if we lower the bar.
We rig the system.
But you never had to do that.
No, when I was in... Black guys were in the regiment, but they were coming through, and they came through. It's a natural thing. Right. But by doing what they're doing now, I know in the America and here, they're lowering the physical requirements now to the military.
Yeah, exactly.
Haven't got.
And this is going to sound bad because they're putting women in the field now. They have to lower those standards because they can't meet the same standards as the guys can.
Let's be honest. When I used to do the training things,
no, they can't.
It's like when they do a BFT, battle fitness test, you have to run a certain length distance, I think it's 3 miles, wearing full combat equipment, 30 pounds backpack, your helmet, your body armor,
over the terrain and the logs and all that stuff.
Yeah, so you run with your full combat kit.
Right.
When you only have to carry 15. How's that?
Right.
And then when you're running, I used to run with them back in the day when I could run that far. not so good at the running now. But any case, and I'd end up finishing with my £30 of kit, and well, nearly 45 with the rifle, the helmet, and everything else, and usually 2 extra £15 packs because the women had to drop them because they couldn't carry them. And I'm not being sexist; it's just that women aren't built to carry heavy loads like men are. It's just, it is
few and far between.
You'll have the few one-offs that
there's
can.
except, yeah.
Don't get me wrong. There are a couple of women who were like, "Whoa, very impressive." But
Right.
Yeah.
It's like
For the majority.
The greatest.
Yeah.
Go on.
Go ahead, Abby.
I didn't say anything.
Oh no, everybody stopped.
Okay. The greatest airline pilot. The greatest airline pilot of all time, Sully Sullenberger, who landed a freaking plane on the river, and everybody got out. Okay,
alive.
In the Hudson River. This guy that was experienced, that was training, and that guy couldn't get hired right now in any of the airlines because he's white and male.
Yep.
And let that sink in. That guy couldn't get hired now. And that took years for him to get to that point. It took
you're seeing
decades
that
for him to
just
get
like
to that point.
Well, you just look at what Gabi was talking about with the Doctor Who and the Disney end of it and what they're doing to that. Whereas the actor that played Davros was not, quote unquote, handicapped or wheelchair bound. So therefore, as far as Disney was concerned, he couldn't be the quintessential classic Davros. He had to be something else.
I need to ask Hollywood and Disney and everybody else the same question. They're actors. Their job is to act. Their job is to pretend to be something they're not. That's the job. Yeah? I mean, let's be honest. Was it How I Met Your Mother? Neil Patrick Harris plays a womanizing man.
Right.
Guy.
Yeah.
It's because he can act.
He's good.
And, yeah. I can sit in a chair and act if I was an actor. Okay, I get it. I understand where they're trying to get where like they need people in, but they're actors. This is what they're paid to do. Oh no. They're paid to lecture us how we should lead our lives. That's what they're paid to do now. But that's what they are. That's what actors are. I mean, you look at some people, and
Bryan Cranston. Bryan Cranston is one of the greatest actors of his generation.
You see what I mean?
Bryan Cranston's one of the greatest actors of his generation, and he got criticized for playing a guy that was a paraplegic. and he apologized like a cuck that he is.
But, the thing is, okay, you're not playing a paraplegic.
Great movie, though.
Great movie. But the thing is,
great movie.
How many paraplegics are actually actors?
Right.
Yeah.
I know one.
It's not an insult on them. But you can't name one because they can't get in the industry because perhaps they don't want to. Or you can't do this. You can't say
they got bigger fish to fry.
Here's the thing. Exactly. This is how bad this bullshit has gotten with the DEI, ESG bullshit, equity, inclusion, everything. There was in anime and manga, stuff like that, they have all these cartoons and stuff, and all these different types of people do the voices. And I'm not talking about the Vic situation with him with Dragon Ball. This is a different one. It was a new show, and they had a casting call for voice actors for various different characters. And there was this one voice actor who went into audition for a character. Actually went into audition for a specific character. He was told he couldn't audition for that character because the character was white and he was Asian. He could only try out for the Asian character, and he was pissed, and I think he sued them. Or he's going to file a suit if he hasn't already, because
he has a chance to win it. I mean, he has a chance to win it.
Yeah,
he does.
He does.
That's
the mental decay that we're facing right now in entertainment as a whole. Whether it's comic books, whether it's television, whether it's movies, whether it's animation or live action, that mentality it's just like a cancer that's infected these executive offices, intentionally to destroy entertainment. The only thing that's out there that's actually genuine, for the most part, is like what we're doing right now on YouTube, Rumble, Odyssey. That's the only genuine entertainment that there really is out there that's not governed in some way, shape, or form by these egregious make-believe bullshit guidelines.
Well, a lot of these studios don't put out entertainment anymore. They put out propaganda.
Yeah. Yes, that's exactly. They put out the propaganda.
Let's be honest. If this was on TV, you imagine the outroar we get. 5 white guys talking.
Oh yeah. Yeah, exactly.
I mean, what's wrong? I mean,
where's your diversity?
Yeah, right.
Well, exactly.
Allegedly.
I mean, it's not. I mean, here in the UK, we're 85% white. So out of every 100 people in the 85 should be white. Now, I'm sorry if that's inconvenient, but that's the truth.
Right.
You know, I mean, so you are.
Well,
I mean,
I will let you in on a little secret. Here's a little. It was when I first got into retail management and retail in general back in the 1990s. My then wife, my ex-wife, was working for a corporation, a different corporation, a different industry than retail, and she basically was educated to the what they called the 1/3
Re-educated.
No, she was right. She was enlightened to by what was referred to as the 1/3 rule, meaning that 1/3 of your hires, people that you actually hire, not interview, hire, have to be predominant minority for whatever area that you're in. 1/3. It was called the 1/3 rule. And I started seeing that as well on the retail side. Now, so you have that got snuck in, and part of that was part of the affirmative action bullshit, which was part of affirmative action, but it was kind of an unspoken rule. Nothing was written down. It was just that's kind of how HR was
a
viewing
guideline.
things.
A guideline.
Yeah, and guideline, but it wasn't a written guideline.
Oh yeah.
Well, but if you didn't follow it, oh boy.
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It's a guideline, guys. It's a
right.
guideline.
And so that's evolved into
End of an AK-47. Yeah.
Yeah. And now that's right. Now that's evolved into straight up just freaking racial profiling, which is supposedly illegal, but everybody's doing racial profiling. And sexual profilings to basically discriminate against certain segments of society intentionally. That's and like you said, T-Bunny, it's Marxism. It is freaking Marxism. You divide everybody up under classes and groups, and then you can control them by whatever means that they want.
And the people at the very top get Scrooge McDuck rich.
Oh
yes.
They're the only one. Because all the money, all the money gets funneled up.
As always.
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
There are trillionaires in China right now, guys. There are trillionaires in China and Nicaragua and Venezuela. Trillionaires.
Yeah. Papa Cotton in the chat says affirmative action is how I ended up with a drug dealer for a boss at a factory job. Yeah.
I
had to show my boss man how to turn on his computer.
I can tell you right now from personal experience,
his computer.
Affirmative action and racial bullshit is one of the main reasons why I left Toys R Us, because the company refused to take action against a store director, who had been proven to steal product and sexually, I used to say sexually, but touched a female employee who was pregnant and knocked her to the ground on camera, and they did nothing to this man.
Oh, of course not. Of course not.
And I had enough of it and just said, fuck it all. And I walked. The only time I ever left a fucking
And plus,
job
they
with
were
nothing to cook.
discriminating against Sasquatches. So.
Oh
They were discriminating against Sasquatches.
But you have a company
Wookiees.
who's
Sasquatch
you have a
lives
company.
matter. Sasquatch lives
Yeah,
matter.
but you have a company
SLM.
that when I was first working for them, I worked for them 5 years. When I first worked for them, they seemed to be very ethical in that, okay, if you fucked up and you did something that was, borderline questionable, they would suspend you, investigate, and then whatever. Or sometimes you just outright get fired for a sexual harassment accusation with no proof. There was a shit ton of proof, witnesses, police report. There was an actual police report written, and they didn't fucking do nothing to this guy at all. And for years, they didn't do anything to this guy because he was in a protected ethnic minority.
There we go.
Where is the headquarters for Toys R Us? Where was it located?
It was in New Jersey. It's a moot point now. They're out of business. Thank God.
They're gone now.
Fuck them.
They're gone.
Well, there's some. They're still online, and Macy's is taking them up for the holidays.
Yeah, they're not the same. Thank God.
No, not
anyway,
the same anymore.
No, but you have the properties like Disney has destroyed so many franchises with this same mindset of equity, diversity, equity, inclusion, and making decisions that have nothing to do with fantasy.
Did you hear what Bob Iger said?
But the thing is, it's not even diversity. It's more exclusion than inclusion.
It is. Oh, you're absolutely right. It's exclusion.
Well, let me tell you what Bob Iger's response to it.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, Bob Iger's excuse, and this is what they told the shareholders, is that the fans' preferences changed in an unanticipated way, and they missed the market. That's why. It's the fans' fault. Everything that happened was the fans'
It's always out.
It's the fans' fault.
So the fans zigged when they should have zagged, and Disney missed the market, and that's the reason why everything's falling. Why everything's going down like a stone.
Yeah. As always, it's
nothing to do with ideology. Nothing to do.
No.
It's all the fans shifted on them.
It's all the fans' fault.
The sneaky fans. Fans shifted on them.
It's the fans' fault that the box office tanked. It's the fans' fault that the streaming service sucks because everybody's dropping their subscriptions like a hot potato.
And I'm more they slashed the prices on that Disney Plus. It's like $1 for 3 months or something like that.
Guess what? Guess what? The parks are even taking a hit. Disney parks because they don't do reservations anymore. Because they can't get people to freaking come in. So, like back in the day, they used to have blackout dates and all this shit. Well, apparently that's not the case anymore at Disneyland and Disney World.
Oh,
so they jacked up the prices.
Well, they spent nearly. But they spent nearly $300 million on a motel based off the prequel, the sequel trilogy. They took you in a van and shoved you into this thing, and then told you what you had to do for the next 3 days, and it was $1,500 a person.
It was a big.
Why did this fail?
Well, I don't know.
I have no clue. I can tell you.
It's always our fault.
I can tell you right now that there was probably very few fans that actually asked for something like that anyway.
Right.
It was just kind of they tore up the parks, they tore up everything to put this shit in, and now it's going right into the toilet.
Now, if they'd done that and Galaxy's Edge and set it in the original trilogy,
yes,
packed out. Absolutely packed out. Because people love the original trilogy.
But the reason is yes. But here's the reason for that. When Disney bought the property in the contract, George Lucas was to get paid a royalty for them using any of the original characters. Okay. That's why they killed them all the fuck off.
They hadn't intended.
And now, when they were going to do the Galaxy's Edge,
they still have the 2 droids.
Now, but listen, that when they were going to do, when they were setting up to do the Galaxy's Edge and all this other stuff, the animators, when they got together, all these what they call I forget. There's a term
Imagineers.
There you go. Yes,
that's bullshit.
Yes. The Imagineers. When all the Imagineers got together, all of them were like, "Okay, we're going to do Tatooine. We're going to do blah 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 blah," and then whoever was in charge of it said, "No, we're doing it all based off of the new trilogy." Which and you can see by everything going on, everything went into shit.
Yeah. Who's no longer there.
And the funny thing about it is the new fans know it because the only thing they talked about in Ahsoka was the fact that Darth Vader had made an appearance.
Yeah,
that's the only thing they wanted to talk about, and they talked about it for endlessly.
Right.
You gotta watch Ahsoka. You know, Hayden Christensen turned into Vader. He Vadered, and over and over again. It's like, by the way, remember where Darth Vader came from? The original trilogy.
Right.
And the small account.
That's not where it came from, is it?
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
And Hayden Christensen.
Wow.
It's great. But you know what? That's funny though. Is there are places that are trying to fight back and trying to come up with their own stuff independently. You're seeing that not only in entertainment and comics. You know, I think you can say comics was one of the first ones. You have independent comic creators.
I'm very tempted to buy a subscription to Daily Wire right now.
Nah. Yeah, exactly. So this.
We need a parallel economy.
Well, okay. So you have a lot of things like we saw this with what happened to whether you like him, hate him, or indifferent and couldn't give a shit. Alex Jones. What happened to him on the back end? A lot of people didn't see is that the banks and other financial institutions closed his accounts and basically blacklisted the guy for no reason. He violated no laws, no finance laws, no SEC, FEC, none of this shit. He violated none of that. Okay, but they basically shut him down, closed all of his accounts, just because he said something about the fucking shooting in wherever, and nobody likes that. Right, he was controversial, and that was it. So now you have this. That's the genesis of canceling, of cancellation and cancel culture. But because what happened to him and has happened to other people, now you have it. Abby, you hit it right on the head. You have a company called Parallel Economy.
Squarespace, Public Square.
But you have other companies that people are stepping up, investing, and doing things like Parallel Economy. There's even independent banks now that are coming up that aren't attached to all this other bullshit.
Let me bring it all back to Sid and Marty. Okay.
Oh, yes. The hell with that.
Please.
If you're wondering how I'm going to do it. Okay. Sid and Marty were the prime example of the biggest self-sabotagers in history. Okay. We were talking about this earlier. They sabotaged themselves over and over again. Every time they had something successful, they immediately shifted and changed everything and went in a new direction and alienated all their fans. They did over and over and over again. And the only successes they really had were the ones that they stuck with the original premise. But they couldn't do that. They did it over and over again. And what we're seeing right now is a Sid and Marty Krofft style mainstream who, you like this? You like the second the second season finale of Mandalorian? We're gonna erase all that. We're gonna erase it all in the next episode.
Yeah.
And then we're going you can't have this. You can't have this. You know? They had momentum and they killed it. They killed it immediately. right? But they do this all across the board. A Doctor Who. Oh, you got David Tennant coming back. Oh, the most popular Doctor, his most popular companion, Donald Noble. Oh yeah, we're bringing that back, and oh, RTD's going to run it. Oh crap, we loved RTD, and then womp womp, Star Child. Screw you, screw all of you, right? And they do this over and over again, just like Sid and Marty did for their whole entire career. We got success. We've entered the zeitgeist.
Right.
People are talking about us. Oh, I know. Let's completely fucking sabotage everything. Well, why? Because something within them just couldn't handle being successful.
Yeah.
Something within them could not handle being successly, so they sabotaged it. And this is happening in the mainstream. They're trying to kill all these properties. They are openly trying to kill all these properties and drive
what I think with the difference between what Sid and Marty did,
stated goal.
You know, what Sid and Marty did, they didn't do it intentionally, you know, to destroy their previous incarnations. No. But these people now are intentionally trying to destroy the history of a lot of these, you know, things that we love.
Sid and Marty went from one property to another simply to look for improvements. And then, as we saw on some of the later shows in the later 70s, where they brought back characters from those iconic franchises that he had, like H.R. Puff and stuff, and Sigmund, and the Slee Stack, and all these other things, brought them in and put them into other episodes as themselves, with the exception of Dr. Shrinker. But, you know, they brought these characters back that everybody loved and enjoyed and were fair to them, and they were right by the property. Whereas you have things like this, where you have Star Wars, where they're fucking killing off everybody. All the legacy characters must go. Yeah. All the legacy fucking tropes have got to go. We got to promote a fucking rock that's a navigator on some fucking starship. I mean, you know, some bullshit like that. Or we got to promote this, you know.
That's right. I forgot about that.
Come on, Geode was cool. Geode was cool. Yeah. Come on now.
Best actor in new Star Wars ever.
He was a little stiff. Geode was a little stiff.
But he was good at what he did. Yeah, but it didn't cause any controversy. He didn't come on telly and tell us how to live our lives. He just did his job, and he did it well. And for that, he must be commended. You know, people should take a leap.
He flew Vessel well. He flew Vessel very well.
Oh, he did it very well. Rocksteady, some would say. Rocksteady hand at navigation.
Yes, exactly. With an ever-present.
I was waiting for the pony to come out and be a pet rock.
Pet rock.
Yeah, but the best thing is, it's the toy everybody's got. Just go in your garden and get a rock.
Yeah, there you go.
Right? You know, you haven't got no merchandising rights. Just go get one.
Yeah,
I got my Geode figurine.
The return of the pet rock.
Yeah, I've got one.
Draw a couple of eyeballs on it, and you're good.
He sits in the car now. He's my sat nav. He tells you where to go. I mean, I've hit several cars, drove into 3 lakes, but he's a damn good navigator.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, you're seeing that. I mean, you look at, every sci-fi franchise has been pretty much scuttled.
Yep.
I mean, you look at it. Every other adventure type franchise. I mean, look what they did to fucking The Hobbit and our Tolkien. You know, it's like holy crap.
Yeah.
You know what they did there. Oh my God! It's just
Rings of Power. Rings of Power.
When they basically told Peter Jackson to basically fuck off. You know that there's something wrong with that.
Oh yeah.
Sack of shit. So it's insane.
No,
it's insane.
that's
What we're watching in real time.
Good place. I think that's a pretty good place to wrap up for the day. What do you think?
Yes. Sure. Why not?
Sure, why not?
I've got a shitty episode of Doctor Who to watch. I've got my rope, got my arsenic, I've got my lethal injector just in case.
Oh shit! Yeah, we'll call it. Wait
but
now.
You
have
the IV drip, Agabi. The IV drip. You know, to slowly go to sleep. You know.
Okay.
Best thing is, I can watch this, and I know as soon as I say something, I'm going to be a bigot, a racist, a sexist, a homophobe, a transphobe.
Here you go. This now, Abby and And T-Bunny will know exactly the title of this show when I show this still picture.
And by the
You
way,
will
he's
know.
wearing a
And this
carbon
still
dioxide
picture-
shirt. How dare you?
This still picture encapsulates the meaning of everything we're fucking seeing in entertainment right now. Everything. The title of this television show, right here, right now, on my channel, is the Far Out Space Nuts.
Yes.
Fucking shit.
Stop putting up things that can ruin. Stop putting up things that can ruin. They might see this and think there's something else we can screw over. Stop giving them ideas.
You're giving them ideas, Wookie.
What are you doing?
We got
it now. Just screw it over.
It's Far Out Space Nuts. Oh my God.
Oh man.
Okay, it's Gilligan.
It's Gilligan and Honk. I wonder what
Yeah,
he's honking about.
Well, you can't have that show. There's far too much white representation in that. It's all right.
I know. Well, no, they got a honk in there. I mean, it might be played by a white midget, but yeah, it's
Hold on a second. Is that
Billy
Geode?
Barty.
Is that Geode in the front?
yeah, Gio.
I
Yes,
shared the video.
yeah, front, right there.
Yeah.
Yes.
Geode.
Diversity.
Famous.
Yes, before he was famous. He was on American TV prior to
Yeah,
being
yeah,
on
but
Star Wars.
Like a
worked
womble,
hard in his
actually.
trade. He's worked hard. Get where he got to.
I just
Oh
shared
my
the
God.
opening sequence if you want to watch it.
Oh yeah,
no.
yeah. Okay,
Yeah, do it.
let's watch the opening sequence of Far Out Space Nut. Right here. Right here.
Hell no.
Copyright strike.
Love the buffering.
I know, right?
Breakfast. Lunch. I said lunch, not lunch.
You do the Wi-Fi. What the? You did the Wi-Fi.
All the parachutes in space.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, it's Patty Maloney is on. Hey, there I am. See,
Hey!
I'm in this
Uh-oh.
with a lightsaber.
Yeah. It's just a candle.
It's the candle.
Well, that's better than anything I've seen on Disney in the last 10 years.
Yeah. Right?
Even with the buffering, it's pretty good.
Even with the buffering, it was still better.
Yeah.
Oh, dear me.
Yeah, it's no red dwarf, but you know.
Yeah, no.
Is that a freaking... It
A
did look like a womble, to be fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does look like a wobble.
At least it's not a flump.
What's wrong with flumps? What is wrong with flumps? Don't you start dissing flumps.
All right,
Jesus, that's all you fighting.
all right,
I'm
Pete,
a
Marty.
Flumpism.
A flumpism.
Flumpist.
Flumpist. You flumpist. Oh, that's going to go on Twitter. I'm going to call that somebody and see what reaction you get. You're nothing but a flumpist.
All right, Pete, Marty.
Oh my
And
God.
you're not
All
a
right,
different
so
Greg,
we're gonna call it quits now at 2
Yeah,
hours and 4 minutes. So I want to thank everybody on the panel, T Bunny for sending me those cool clips, and being on, Cruel Beer Ab for coming along for the ride, Abby Someone for just
for
being
having
on
us.
as well, and Gobby, thank you so much for gracing us with
turning up lights.
your dining room. Your dining room and Christmas decorations. I
Right.
really appreciate that.
Oh, it's all right.
And,
And you're
and I want to
Sling
thank
Santa.
everybody in the chat. Yeah. I want to thank everybody in the chat, including the Time Prophet, for showing up late. You know, you've
Santa
you get no
Claus!
fruit cups since you're late. But everybody in the
Very
chat,
late.
Papa Cotton,
Very late. Almost an hour in.
low spec Linux and File was in there. Papa Cotton, I think I said him already. Even Gabi was in the chat. Wow, that's he's
I'm good
time
at
warp right now.
multitasking.
He's all over the place. Yep.
Yes.
But again, thank everybody for being in the chat and being on the panel. Great panel today.
We'll do in a minute, mate.
We took a hard right turn.
As soon as I turned up, surprisingly enough,
we went right into So that's fine.
Sorry about that.
It's all good.
You just never know what's going to happen on the stream.
Yes, and people in the chat, everybody watching, please remember to hit the like button and please subscribe. That helps me out. I appreciate it. And we will see you on the next video, everybody, or next stream. Have a great one, and have a good weekend.
All right, guys.
And we'll see you then. Oh, yeah.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.